Hi, everyone. Elida Zweidler-McKay with ZM Coach, where we're all about helping you take your career to the next level, whether that's moving up in your current organization or, excuse me, taking a job somewhere else, finding that right fit role for you. Well, so today I wanted to talk to you about a kind of interesting experience I had this week. I've been talking to some different people who are in my network, other coaches who are trying to make businesses work, and things are a little strange right now. In terms of different ways to market. TikTok is taking off, and Facebook has changed some things, and the Mac or phone iOS has changed some things. So stuff's a little bit up in the air in terms of how to reach good clients and how to let people know that we're here to support you and help you out. And that's got a lot of conversations going. And so I had this experience of the last couple of days that was sort of it was an experience in contrast, and it got me thinking about organizational culture. So first, let me tell you about the contrast, and then I'll describe what I mean. So I had a couple of conversations over the last couple of days with people who are feeling really frustrated, like their ads aren't working, they're not getting good clients on the phone, they're spending a lot of money, and they're not really getting the kinds of leads that they would want to get to be able to um, have the coaching clients that they want to work with. And it's hard. Like that is, I think, one of the hard parts about doing this work is we want to help people, we want to coach them, we want to support them through their challenges, whether that's, in healthcare or, personal health or, um, uh, relationships or what I do, the career coaching. And so several of these conversations with people were kind of cranky. People were grumpy about how it's hard and it's not working and it takes a lot of work and you never know what's going to work out. And, and I walked away from those conversations feeling, just bummed, kind of low energy and like, do I even want to get on and do a Facebook Live today? What's the point? That kind of energy. And it was really kind of yucky. And then today I had a conversation with another group of coaches, totally, just another group of people trying to do the same thing. And they were all in. They were like, we are in this for our clients. We know that they need us. So many people are struggling right now, whether that's with just the overwhelming pressure that people are under at work or the challenges that people are facing in, juggling life and family and whatever. And like, we want to be there for our clients. We want to help them. We want to let people know that we are here to support you. And so they were all fired up. Like, never mind that Facebook isn't quite working the way we want it to. What else can we try? Let's do this thing. Let's do that thing. Let's compare notes and get ideas. And it was so energizing. And it just, that contrast in experience was such a stark reminder to me about the power of culture, whether that's on your team or in your organization or in some other relationships. But I'll talk team and organization because that's kind of my deal. The tone that gets set in how people interact with one another can have a huge impact on how it feels to go to work, how it feels to do the stuff that's part of your day-to-day activity. And then because it has an impact on how it feels and on your energy, it also can have a real impact on your productivity, right? So, coming out of conversations where the sky is falling and nothing's working and it's hard and awful, it was a little bit hard for me to get my own gumption going and get myself up to doing the kinds of things that I needed to do, at least on the marketing side. Clients are easy because I love working with my clients. So they come on the phone and I'm there for them. But some of the marketing stuff's not my favorite. So, getting that energy up to kind of put myself out there and talk about what I want to talk about and try to attract new clients like that was just hard when I was coming out of these wah, wah, wah kind of conversations. But on the other hand, today, talking with these friends who are all in and remember what their business is all about and are in touch with why they're doing it, was so motivating that here I am on here talking to you, doing my weekly recording, from a place of really feeling like this is important. Like it's important for you to, um, get some ideas about things that you could be paying attention to in your leadership. It's important for you to know that if you want more than ideas, I'm here for you. Like I see that and I believe that. And it's easier to tap into that when I've been around a group of people that share that kind of commitment. And so all that has me thinking, like I said, about organizational culture. And here's the thing about culture. Culture is not something that can be created top down in an organization. There are a lot of things that leaders can do to set the tone for culture, and it's really important that they do them. And when I coach CEOs and vice presidents and managers and directors and stuff on building their teams and building their organizations, we definitely talk about what's the culture you want to create, what are the values you want to support, how do you want to get that across to people? And leaders absolutely set the tone. Leaders go first. They have to walk the talk in order for whatever they say about culture to actually translate into how people behave. But leaders are not the only ones. And so here's my challenge to you. My challenge to you is to be thinking about what are the opportunities that you might have to create the culture that you want to live in your workplace. So what are the kinds of interactions that you could have on a daily basis, whether that's with your team members, your colleagues, maybe your direct reports? What's the tone that you want to set in your interactions with those people in order to create the kind of culture, the kind of attitude, the kind of energy that you want to live in every day? Do you want to have the experience of kind of moaning and groaning to one another around the water cooler or whatever the Zoom equivalent is, and then kind of have that bring everybody's energy down? Or do you want to focus on recognizing people who've done great work, saying thank you to people who have rolled up their sleeves and pitched in, sharing an idea you're excited about, asking other people what they're excited about? Those are all things you can do to start to create some energy for the work. And there was this really interesting research that was done years ago. You may have heard me talk about it before. This guy, Michel Lasada, looked at speech acts on different teams. So he did this research project where he set up different teams and he gave them the assignment of developing a strategic plan. And as the teams were working together developing their strategic plan, he and his colleagues were watching how they talked to one another. And what he found was that the teams that had a ratio of about 5-to-1 positive to negative comments were the ones that created the richest strategies, that were the most robust and the most creative. Teams that had fewer than that, like a lot more negative to positive, just simply didn't perform as well. Now, I don't know, because he doesn't really go into this in the research, whether, complaining about somebody else or, kind of whining at the water cooler would count as negative speech acts. But my guess is that they would. Whereas encouragement, positive comments, inviting people to tell you what they're thinking about, I think all of those would probably qualify in the positive speech acts part of the equation and would certainly contribute. I mean, you can just feel it when you have those kinds of conversations, right? You get sort of excited and lit up and reminded why you're doing what you're doing. So if you are on a team where you're feeling like the energy has just dropped out the bottom, which, can happen this time of year. People are busy. It's the end of the school year. So anybody who's a parent is like running around like crazy. I would encourage you to see how you can bring some more positive speech acts into your daily existence. Who can you recognize? Who can you tap on the shoulder? Who can you acknowledge? Who can you support? Who can you validate in some way? And see if that starts to make a difference in how people interact with you. And not only that, but how you feel about your work too. And if you're listening to this and you're feeling like, oh, I wish other people would do that for me, one of the things that I tell all my clients is leaders go first. So if you start down that path and, keep it light and keep it easy, it's likely that other people will follow along. And if they don't, you can also do that for yourself. You can spend some time during your day thinking about, what are you celebrating? What are you excited about? What are you looking forward to in your day, or what are you proud of at the end of the day? Because that is another way to kind of set the tone. We think a lot about the culture of a team or the culture of an organization, but there's also a way in which you have your own internal culture of the language and the tone that you set inside your own head and what you think about and how you think about it. And if you can start to turn that around, that can make a big difference in how you think about your work, how you do your work, and even eventually how you show up and how people see you. These are things that I work with my clients on to help them feel more productive, feel more confident, and build the kinds of teams that people want to be part of and get the kind of recognition that's going to move them forward in their careers. If you're curious to learn more, feel free to book a call with my team. You'll get on the phone for about 45 minutes and talk about kind of where you are now, where you want to go in your career. And if we can help you get from here to there, we'll let you know what that would look like and come up with a custom plan for you. You can book that call at zmcoach.com/apply. We look forward to talking to you. Take care.